Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name's Alexis and today we're gonna cry our eyes out. It's finally time for me to read The Way I Used to Be. I've been putting this book off for so long because I know it's gonna make me cry my little eyes out, but I finally saw a TikTok today and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna read it. This TikTok has single-handedly motivated me to finally read this book. I'm gonna put a massive trigger warning right now, right here. This book does talk about SA. To my knowledge, it talks about it pretty vividly. I don't actually know the extent since this is my first time reading the book, but I just wanted to put a heavy warning that this book does go into a lot of deep topics, especially around SA. This video is going to be no spoilers, maybe some out of text quotes, my reactions, that sort of stuff. I will not be spoiling and I will not be going into depth about the specifics that happen with the triggers because I want to keep this video, hopefully, I guess as light as possible. With that being said, we're gonna get started reading The Way I Used to Be. I'm equally very excited to read this book, and also I feel like I'm going to genuinely just like sob, like have gut-wrenching sobs after reading this. It's been an intimidating book on my TBR for quite some time now, and I'm really hoping that I can finally understand what all of the love and the praise is about.
30 minutes later.
Just got to part 2. There we go, part 2, sophomore year, and the first 60 pages were like, okay. It was just all exposition. There wasn't anything super notable, in my opinion, this little bit. I am surprised though, so I flipped ahead and I found that pretty much the last, like, this much of the book is all the senior year, and this is the sophomore and junior year. So I'm very interested in what the pacing will look like for this book, because this is just not at all what I was expecting so far. I do like the writing style. It's very quick to read. Like I said, I got through 60 pages in less than half an hour, just flew through it. So I will update you when we are through sophomore year, or in case anything notable happens before then. Just a little bit into sophomore year and we just met the love interest. It's so rude of other people to like be outside while I'm trying to vlog. Go home! Anyways, we just met the love interest. I know he's a love interest just because of stuff I've seen online, and they're like little meet cute sort of. It's actually pretty adorable. I obviously know the romance is not the most important part of this book at all, but I am excited to see it since I know it's a big part of the sequel. I know I'm supposed to be rooting for Josh and Eden, at least in some capacity. I don't know how much I like what's happening. She's 14, he's at least 17, if not maybe 18. I would guess 17. I don't think this author would make him 18. I don't know. It's like I'm reading it, I'm interested in it, but I guess I thought that the romance would be cuter, more wholesome than it has been. Not to say I don't understand our main girl Eden's perspective on life, or like what she's doing and why she's doing it. It's just, so far I feel like this book is just not what I have expected. I think I'm probably around halfway through sophomore year right now. Yeah. Okay, besties, we are back inside now because I got sick of it being humid. I am not born for summer. I am born to stay inside wearing my oversized comfy and my little pom-pom headband eating ice cream. That's the vibe. So let me show you the setup and update you on the reading. We have ice cream. I just filled my water. I am roughly 150 pages into The Way I Used to Be. I only have about 30 more pages till we're done with the sophomore year, and I'm planning on pretty much sitting here and reading this book as much as possible tonight. So I will update you as I finish the sophomore year chunk of this book. This angle is not my cutest. But to be honest, I'm very tired. What do we think? Is this the look? Is this the look? Okay, I finally emerged from my little cocoon. I just got to part 3, junior year. So that means I'm about halfway into this book now. Yes, there's about 360 pages, and I am on just about short of page 200. So we're killing it. I can honestly see myself finishing this book tonight. There were a lot of parts in part 2 where I genuinely wanted to sob my eyes out. I'm very invested in this book. It's getting a bit heavier, a bit more emotional, and I guess the update is that I am really liking it, and I'm very excited for part 3. I feel like part 1 was very exposition, part 2 things are picking up, and I feel like part 3 and part 4 is gonna be like a lot. 226 pages in. I'm kind of obsessed with the little side romance happening with Mara and Cameron. I just got to part 4. I wasn't expecting that to be the last thing for junior year. You're on part 4. Okay, hold on. This is how much I've read today. This is how much is left. I cannot tell you the last time I read this much in a day. I'm like baffled and buffooned and looked and gagged that I read this much in a day. And I honestly feel somewhat optimistic that I'm going to finish this book tonight. But I also don't want to push myself too hard. I am really surprised by how quickly I'm flying through this. I thought, not that this book hasn't been emotional, but I feel like this last chunk is what's really going to be emotional, and I thought this was going to be more emotional. So I haven't like been super like crying or anything, but I feel like this last like quarter is going to like just stab me in the heart, you know? I am unwell. I'm not even done with the book yet, and I am unwell. I am on page 280. I never thought I was gonna get this far today, but this is our progress check. As I'm reading this book, as I'm reading the story, the only thing that keeps going through my mind is The Prophecy by Taylor Swift, and just like the lyrics like, please, I'll be on my knees, change the prophecy. Like, I feel like if my girl Eden was a Swiftie, or like if this book had a playlist, the prophecy would be in it. I just keep, every time I'm reading this book, which has been all day today, I'm a mess. I'm so sorry. I've been reading this book. It just keeps going through my head, like, that song, and then that's making me so much more emotional while I'm reading it, and making me want to sob so much more. I'm not gonna lie, today's also been a bit of a rough mental health day, so then reading such a sad book all in one sitting was probably not my best choice for my mental health, to be honest. I feel like I just want to sit in a little room and listen to the prophecy on repeat while I think about these characters, and I'm not even done yet. I'm not even done yet. It's gonna get worse. I will be shocked if I rate this anything less than a start read. This book is eating me up. She's wrecking me. This is embarrassing. If I post this on the internet, I'm probably gonna post it on the internet and I look like a wreck. But if this space doesn't convince you to read this book, then I don't know what will. This girl is just hurting so bad. No one has helped her. Literally everyone in her life has failed her, and she's not perfect to so exist. And oh my god, I feel like I'm not even done with the book. I feel like by the time I actually finish the book, I'm gonna need to take so much time to like mentally process it to even give final thoughts. I still have at least like 50 pages. It is so late at night. It is after 11, and I just finished The Way I Used to Be. I'm semi-coherent, so here's just like kind of a quick little. I look exhausted. I've been crying for the last like hour. This book is amazing. I'm giving it 5 stars. I cannot wait to read the sequel, and I cannot imagine what it would have been like to read this and not have the sequel already out. I'm very much looking forward to reading the sequel. I want to see more of these characters so sincerely. This book was 5 stars. I did not, in my wildest dreams, expect to finish this today. And I enjoyed it, and it broke my heart, and this is a book that I'm just going to be thinking about for a very, very long time, which I know I have said. I'm gonna say it again, this book is gonna be living rent-free in my mind for the next forever. So, I'm gonna get ready for bed and go to bed, and I will talk to you tomorrow about my thoughts, feelings, and opinions on The Way I Used to Be once I am a little calmer.
Okay, I actually owe y'all some explanations. After that last clip, I woke up in the morning and decided that this was going to be a double reading vlog, and I was going to read the second book in this series. However, I super quickly realized that the second book was impossible to talk about without spoiling the first book. And of course, that completely messed up my final thoughts and feelings about The Way I Used to Be. Like, the clips were just not something I could use without providing spoilers, and that's not what I was about to do here. I don't have any further comments than what I've already said in this video. I really enjoyed this book. I rated it 5 stars. It was a great, very sad, very heartbreaking read. I would highly recommend. But that also unfortunately means that this is it for today's video. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. I promise I do post other videos where I'm not just crying half the time, so if you're interested in seeing that, definitely check out my channel. I try to post videos every Monday. Doesn't always happen, but I do my best. Have a good one, and I will hopefully see you next week. Bye!